Let's do this, because The View is live. Fallen Rose. 8 women come forward with sexual misconduct allegations against Charlie Rose. Did his response make things worse? CNN political commentator and special guest co-host Anna Navarro's raising hell in Hot Topics. Plus, one of people's sexiest men alive, This Is Us star Justin Hartley. And is your holiday budget about to blow up by $5 grand? Find out if you're cashing in on The View's holiday sweepstakes. Let's light up Hot Topics with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin. Now, let's get things started.
Back here on Monday, but joining us as guest co-host this morning, please welcome political commentator and all-round great woman, Anna Navarro. So there's a lot to talk about. You know, 8 women have come forward claiming that they were sexually harassed by Charlie Rose. He's been suspended by CBS this morning, and his colleagues reacted just a few hours ago. Take a look.
Let me be very clear. There is no excuse for this alleged behavior. Women cannot achieve equality in the workplace or in society until there is a reckoning and a taking of responsibility.
I got an hour and 42 minutes of sleep last night. Both my son and my daughter called me. Oprah called me and said, "Are you okay?" I am not okay. How do you wrap your brain around that? I'm really grappling with that. That said, Charlie does not get a pass here. He doesn't get a pass from anyone in this room. We are all deeply affected. We are all rocked by this.
I mean, Rose released a statement saying that he doesn't believe all the allegations, but also that, quote, "I always felt I was pursuing shared feelings, even though I now realize I was mistaken," he told TMZ last night. There was no wrongdoing. So is there an apology in this? Sort of non-apology?
Well, it's interesting. They all think that it's consensual. You know, they're 75, she's 23. They think that's consensual?
Yeah.
No, it's not consensual.
Well, and when it's repetitive, like you have all these stories and they're all about the same demographic, and you think all of them were that excited to work for you so they could be with you intimately.
Yeah, and that's a key, the pattern of behavior. You're not talking about one lone case. You're talking about a pattern of behavior through years.
Yeah, and this weird shower thing that these men keep on doing.
They are
I don't understand the shower thing.
These are the cleanest perverts, right?
Right. I mean, it's like you leave this. There's this common. That's so weird. There is like this common thread where there are 2 common threads I see. I see the shower thread where they like come out of the shower like, "Hey, I'm so sexy," like, you know, and they're, you know, probably wrinkled and not that sexy.
Don't go there.
But I mean, they're in the shower. They're all pruned up. But anyway, so that's like one thread. The other
shrinkage.
And shrinkage, right? The other thread.
Gravity also.
Gravity. The other thread that I see that is really shocking and I'm just dismayed by it is that women seem to have been a part in this. When you read the allegations against Charlie Rose, several of the accusers say, "I went to his executive producer, Yvette Vega, and I complained about the behavior, and she did nothing."
She has apologized for being so lax.
And maybe, as you guys
credit.
always point out, maybe she was trying to keep her job.
That's what it is.
But it's,
you know,
we saw the same exact thing with one.
With young assistants would bring these women up to the room, and I'm saying, what happened to women standing together?
Wait, there was no women. Wait a minute, it didn't exist. It is now starting to exist.
Where women stick together.
Where women are saying, you know what, together we are stronger, and if we make this real dangerous to do, if we make this dangerous to mess with not just you, but me and you and you and you, they'll stop. And I believe that it is now dangerous to do this.
And you know,
because there are a lot of people being pulled out.
But those women I think you're talking about, though, I think were under this, they were silent for the same reasons. They had made it further along, and the further you climb as a woman, the less there are of us at the top.
Because Vegas said that's Charlie being Charlie.
Well, and I think what she was doing is it's the same reason the 20-year-old stays silent for, like, my life will be ruined.
Yeah.
You watch as a few of these women were fired when they spoke up. You know, retribution.
Yes, they
so
were.
You speak up at that level and you might be done.
But
like,
it's also,
so
you know,
what,
it's so important. We're always talking about diversity around the boardroom, diversity in the executive suites. Why it is so important to have diversity, so that women have other women to go to. I think what Gail said today is so important. Nobody gets a pass.
Nobody gets a pass.
It's hard to see somebody that you like, that you respect, that you know, that's a friend of yours, and learn that they've done this. It can't be about who I like. It can't be about politics. It can't be about race. It can't be about ethnicity. It can't be about anything.
You know,
nobody gets
one of the things Charlie Rose says in the interview, the article, is that he says to one of the girls, "I'm very lonely." He says, despite my success and money. And I think a lot of the problem is that these guys cannot have a normal relationship with a woman. They just can't do it.
The power dynamic.
They can't do it.
There are plenty of women that would sign up for put a ring on it and pay for me for the rest of my life.
Not one of these guys. Not one of these guys you can say that they have a normal relationship. Harvey Weinstein, that was like a trophy wife who he was, using her, she was using him. That's how I see it.
There's a dominant laden thing here. This idea that the person is powerless. I had a very honest conversation with Max.
There is that too.
My husband, I was saying, like, I was trying to dig deeper into the male psyche of is this in all of you? And he was saying how, like, although there's some primitive urges, he was saying that there's something that can be a turnoff for a man when you don't seem willing. Like, there are men that will say, this isn't fun for me because I see you're not into this, and they walk away. These men aren't turned off by your...
No, they like that.
They like it.
Well,
It's
I think there's a lot of insecurity going on.
Yes.
You know, these are guys who couldn't get a date in college. Some of them,
Not Charlie.
No, not Charlie Rose.
Not
but
Charlie.
I mean, Harvey Weinstein.
But maybe.
I know.
but I mean,
So what? They're sort of reliving their.
Well, now they got
because
power.
nobody would pay them the attention they felt they should be getting. And now I'm going to show everybody. I got this, and this is who I am. I can make them do this. I can make this girl.
Sexual assault is about anger and dominance. It's not about sex.
I also think it's about insecurity. I think it's a pathetic attempt at dominance by insecure men. If you are a secure man, you go seduce a woman. You attract a woman. You don't attack a woman.
And you don't have to, you take your chances like everybody else. And not all men are like this. Not all men
I got to
like
tell you,
this,
I'm
but
beginning
it's
to think you all are going to be the only show left on TV to watch. Thank God it's you. You all are women. I mean, you can't go to the...
Interesting because didn't we have the woman from Grey's Anatomy on? What was her name?
Ellen Pompeo.
Ellen Pompeo, who said with Shonda Rhimes at the helm, Shonda has empowered the women that work there to be just better versions of themselves. And statistically, when women are at the helm, you do not see this kind of thing.
Well, no, you don't, because women know what goes on.
Yeah.
And so you try to make sure that women are able to get into the workplace in places where they weren't recognized before. And listen, this is never okay. No. This is what we're finding. John Conyers was just accused. I think this is going to go on and on because we're retching and retching. And the only thing that I hope that we don't stop doing is demanding the information so that we don't end up throwing out people who are being accused because somebody's pissed at them.
You're right. Listen, information is the biggest tool here. When you just mentioned Congressman John Conyers, there's these settlements that have been happening in Congress with our money, our taxpayer money.
That is so disturbing.
You're talking about $17 million over the last 20 years. Not all of it for sexual harassment.
How much have we paid to Trump's accusers?
Not enough. The entire,
Paul Ryan said this is very...
No, what I'm saying is I want to know who these people are. I think that if it's my taxpayer money and it's going to pay sexual harassment settlements against congressmen, people who are serving today,
Right.
I have a right to know.
But they have a non-disclosure.
They have the NDAs.
Well, we need to get rid of those things. There is no reason why the American people should be paying sexual harassment settlements.
I agree with that.
If our power comes at the voting booths and we don't have this information, then we can't use the power as a democracy.
Yeah.
So
You were going to say
Which
about
brings
Trump.
us to the fact that we have to take a break. And as soon as come back, you can do what you want. But we got to take a break.
Still ahead, Jay-Z's State of the Union. Why he says racism isn't the biggest problem in America right now. Politics at the Thanksgiving table? That could be a little dicey. But politics at the Hot Topics table? Yeah,
No,
now we're cooking. Plus, Garth Brooks brings down the house. And Rocco DeSpirito serving up tasty treats. It's Thanksgiving week on The View. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to thank us for this.
I saw the change in Rich when we...
A star Justin Hartley. And one viewer's winning $5 grand on The View's holiday sweepstakes.
Welcome back.
All right, so we were talking about Congressman John Conyers of Michigan before the break, and I am to read. He did not admit wrongdoing in the settlement and has denied it. That's shocking.
Yeah. You know, very few people say, yeah, I did it. Louis C.K. say, I did it. Not right. Al Franken say, yeah, I took that picture.
The comedians admit it.
Listen, Donald Trump had there was videotape, and he still denied it, and people believed him.
Well, they said it was locker room talk.
And some of them say they just misinterpreted the dynamic of the relationship. They thought it was consensual
there is
somehow.
a chance, though, in this climate, we are going to see people that are accused falsely.
Yes.
That as details come out, we are going to see it. It's important to listen and get the information because I do think there are going to be times where some good people do, like you said, help you take the fall.
You know, Paul Ryan, he withdrew his support of Trump after that tape came out, Access Hollywood. But lately he has said nothing. You know, what's going on with the Republican Party? Why don't they open their mouths about this?
Well, you know,
they did.
actually, look, the Republican leadership in Washington, whether it's Mitch McConnell, John McCain, Paul Ryan, they have been speaking out against this Roy Moore case in Alabama.
Yeah, but not Trump.
It's the Republican Party in Alabama that's sticking by him. It is the Republican governor of Alabama.
But yesterday, the governor of Alabama said, listen, we need those votes. We need those votes. And then Kellyanne came out and said, well, yeah, we want to pass this tax bill. So basically what they're saying, it sounds like to me, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me. But you're basically saying, I don't care what he did to you. I want to get this tax bill passed. And if that is, in fact, how you feel, bye. Because I think women are not taking this anymore. I think you don't get it twisted. Women are not playing with you here.
We're talking about Roy Moore. We're talking about child molestation. How do you put the party before children and
Sonny, we got
assault on children?
We got a hoo-ha grabber in chief in the Oval Office. That's how you do it. This is a playbook. This is right out of Donald Trump's campaign playbook. But Donald Trump said, you know, that what his campaign and what he said to people is, look, I am going to appoint a conservative Supreme Court justice, and he has. And therefore, vote for me no matter what, because that's more important than anything.
And they went along with that.
And so that's
what
Kellyanne
Conway should be ashamed of herself.
Do we have that clip? Because that was crazy.
Hold up, everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. I know you want to show it, but finish your point.
Kellyanne Conway has daughters. She should be ashamed of herself. That's all I'm saying.
Now, you know, you were asking yesterday, we were talking about accusers coming forward, and you know that one of the accusers of Roy Moore was invited onto Hannity's show, and her lawyer said basically, no, we're not sending her on there. You do nothing but put these women down and talk nasty about it. Why would we want to come there? And people say, well, those are the people you got to convince. You know, if you're going into the lion's den, and we know it's a lion's den, we know it's not a friendly place to women. You know? So why would they want to put themselves out there to say this is what happened to me if at the top of it, you've already dismissed them.
It's true. Donald Trump hasn't even got the guts to go on CNN, and yet they want these women to go into the lion's den, which is known as Fox News.
Well, and
that's not right.
And they've done their part by speaking up. They had to. They literally were silent for years and lived with this and the consequences and how it affected their personal lives as these men climbed the ranks into more power. So the idea that they should ever have to now say more than their piece and their truth is asking too much.
But also remember on the Sean Hannity, there's money involved.
Yes.
There's advertisers that have been pulling out of his program because he did defend Roy Moore at the beginning. He's now beginning to soften his tone.
He's flipped it quite a bit.
He's also lost a lot of advertisers. And
too bad,
you know, it's a for-profit business.
But I got to say, with this Kellyanne Conway thing, when she's answering these questions, she does look like she threw up in her mouth a little bit, and she was like, we need the tax vote. So she has sold her soul.
Yes, she has.
But
she has sold
a
her
lot of
soul
people have
for
sold
this.
their soul. And here's the question that we will pose to you before we go.
Yeah.
If your daughter came and said to you, Dad, this is what happened to me. This is what this man did to me. Or, Ma, this is what happened to me. And this is what this man did to me. Is that how you would treat him? Say, I don't care. We need the tax money?
Well, that's the
Is that what you say to your children? Because that's the question that you have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Kellyanne.
It's Lori Greiner again. There's still time to get some of my favorite catches from Shark Tank. We partnered with vendors for at least half off. So get to viewyourdeal.com now.
Welcome back. You know, Jay-Z stopped his concert to address a 9-year-old girl in his audience. And he let her know that she could be anything she wanted to be, including president. But he also said that, quote, America is way more sexist than racist right now. Interesting, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's like two groups of people who are being victimized in the world. Why fight about it? It's both.
Look, after what we've seen this year, this has been a very tough year for America. The division that we've seen has been horrible. What we saw in Charlottesville, I'm not sure that I'll say it's more racist or more sexist. I think we've got a problem on both fronts, and we got to confront all those problems.
Don't you think the world is in trouble generally? Look what's happening in Germany. That alt-right party is starting to get power in Germany again. It's a little scary that fascism is creeping back into the world. I don't care for that at all.
But it's a little scarier in the United States when you see what's happening through the Department of Justice, when you see that we have got, you know, the commander-in-chief who is not capable of condemning and wants to equate one side with the other. We need unity. We need a leader who is capable of unifying America and calling for some healing, not fanning the flames.
And maybe not throwing out 60,000 Haitians from this country.
If Trump were a Democrat, do you think that he would have been impeached already?
If he were a Democrat and Republicans were in Congress?
Yeah, Republicans in Congress, the way they are now, you know, the both two houses, the Congress and the Senate, would they impeach him if he was a Democrat now?
The proceedings would have started already.
Probably. He would have been gone 10 weeks ago.
And if Hillary were president, if she'd done the things that Trump has, she'd be impeached too. We've become so tribal. We have become so partisan on everything. Everything becomes politicized.
No, their party has become. They have dropped the ball. The Republican Party. I'm sorry.
Everybody has.
Look,
Yes,
both.
I said both. I believe that. I know you don't, but I do.
Okay.
I think everyone.
Why the two parties? Look, why both parties?
Because I feel and have felt for a long time that Democrats forgot who they are. And they have begun to turn into or try to turn themselves into Republicans in order to win. Now, to me, that doesn't serve anybody. It's not about you winning. It's not about your party. It's about the people. And every time there's a vote, we have to look and say, listen, this is the party that is voting for what is best for us. Not best for your party. Not best for your cousin who has a coal mine or your daughter who's selling clothes that are made in China. That's not what this is about. This is about, can these people feed their children? Are you making it harder for them to have a good life Or are you making it easier? As Americans, I believed as a kid that the idea was we were all going to try to make each other's lives better. That's why I pay taxes I don't want to pay. That's why you pay for stuff you don't want, because we all have to make a sacrifice. And the Democrats, I feel, have forgotten it and gotten away from it.
And I think,
so for me, that's why I say
I think those parties dig in their heels, too. And the point is you're elected to figure out what's best and use your judgment.
For us.
They all go partisan, and then no one wants to pass anything.
Look, you look the other way when it's your people, and you look for every fault when it's the people that are against you. And we're seeing it plainly on this sexual harassment issue. When it comes to, if you're a Democrat, if you're a progressive, you don't want this against Al Franken, but you want it against Roy Moore and you want it against Donald Trump. And if you are a Donald Trump...
Anna, stop saying it like that, because a child molester is not the same as grabbing somebody and taking a picture or sticking your tongue down their throat. It's not the same.
No, Joy, I think nobody gets a pass. We can't say that it was a juvenile picture or it was a funny
equivalency, though?
It's not the same as molesting a 14-year-old girl.
But it is equally disturbing that it happened. That a man... No,
it's not equally disturbing.
Pedophilia is worse than sexual harassment in my book. I think you're right about that. Okay. But what I'm saying is there were people who heard this videotape and saw this videotape of Donald Trump and said it's locker room talk. And there's people on the other side who are seeing this picture of Al Franken and saying, oh, it was just a joke and a juvenile picture taken in jest. So we are more likely to excuse the people we want to excuse and not excuse the others. You cannot cherry pick morality and decency.
No one's excusing anybody.
We did talk about it here with real quickly, that one accuser, that it's not that because it's partisan, but there's a spectrum of offense here.
Right.
And whether one makes you incapable of your job or a resignation, that you have to gauge them each separately.
We can all agree that it's not a partisan issue.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We think
it should not be.
Everyone's guilty, but to different degrees.
That I agree with.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is so in a different direction, but work with us. Paris Hilton has been claiming that she and Britney Spears invented the selfie back in 2006. But people on social media have been posting examples of how many people went there before she did. I would like to submit another one. Check out Frank Sinatra's selfie back in 1938.
That's a good one.
Oh, you win, Whoopi.
Yeah,
you win.
No, there are lots of folks who were taking pictures of themselves. Painting pictures of themselves.
I remember, there's that famous Spanish painting in El Prado of Las Meninas, where Velasquez is painting himself, painting in the painting.
Yes.
A lot of painting.
Frida Kahlo did that also. Frida Kahlo painted herself.
So, 2006, y'all are a little late.
Yeah. But then
I was at the store for a little bit this week and was, had a bunch of things, was running around. Hadn't done anything with my hair, had, 2 sits on my face, had everything going on, and about 10 people asked me for selfies. And so look, before anybody puts it out there and blackmails me, I'm going to blackmail me.
Wait, is this before all the asks?
You look very cute. You look cute.
You look like you're 12.
Yeah, you look very young.
Let me tell you, I don't know what's going on with my hormones, but they're acting like I'm 12.
Well, that's how you stay young.
That's right.
That's what they keep telling me. And you know who passed yesterday? Is Della Reese. She's a music legend and a Touched by an Angel star.
I love her.
And she passed away at 86.
Yeah.
And she was kind of an extraordinary woman. She did everything. She did movies, she did television, she did everything. And she did not play. She did not play. She would tell you in a minute to back up.
I loved her voice.
Remember she was in the Eddie Murphy movie. What movie was that? Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
That role for her was I thought just incredible. She's so spicy.
She was very spicy.
Very spicy.
Look her up. She was no joke. And she came up in an era when people thought they could just talk to you and touch you and do all kinds of stuff. And she was just like, I will knock you into next week. Get away from me. Yeah. She was extraordinary. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Justin Hartley here. And although my cast of This Is Us was just nominated Sexiest Cast Alive, for my money, I'm putting it on The View. Coming up next, stick around.
And now, some advice to our guests coming to The View.
When you step onto this stage, face these ladies, oh, you better be ready to roll, cause it is so on. This November, The View is everything.
Bam! Drop the mic.
Taking on the hottest topics. Then we're dialing things up with, oh, you ready? Garth Brooks, Diana Ross, that's Miss Ross to you, and Kelly Clarkson. Oh, wait, that's Kelly's song in this promo. Love so soft. Nice.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah, we're also throwing Sarah the most awesome baby shower ever. Hashtag crazy. This November, The View is everything on ABC.
It's one of the hottest shows out there in every sense of the word. And here's one big reason why. Please welcome Justin Hartley. Well,
This is so nice.
the women in the audience are very happy.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you,
Well,
ladies.
People Magazine
Yeah.
recently named you and your This Is Us co-stars Milo Ventimiglia and Sterling K. Brown the sexiest cast alive.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you see that photo, I don't know who's sexier. I know I came in third. And I don't know, but got a lot of help from my two co-stars there. Those are two good-looking dudes.
Who's the sexiest, though?
I mean, it would be between Milo and Sterling for sure.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I think so. I think so.
Huh? Not you.
No. No. You're not sitting next to that guy. That guy.
They couldn't book that guy.
No,
He got
no.
third place.
That's right. Third place. Yeah.
No, I just saw Bad Moms. Bad Moms Christmas, and I'm a Bad Moms fan.
Oh, cool.
So on a scale by the way, these scenes are unreal.
Yeah.
The guy that goes before you, don't need to see that.
It's fantastic.
But on a scale of 1 to extremely uncomfortable, how rough was doing that waxing scene?
You know, it would have been more uncomfortable, I think, if we were actually waxing. I think that would have been more uncomfortable.
Give me the face, though. Give me the face.
What?
Yeah, he literally just stares through all that.
Catherine's such a pro. I had never met her. And
she's so
it was like how are you doing? I'm Justin Hartley. She's like, I'm Catherine, great. And then it's like, get into this scene. And
they're going to wax his man parts.
Yeah.
Let me give you a tip. Laser hair removal is a lot less painful.
Yes.
All right.
Women of color can explain that to you.
So you're off the market, I understand. You just got married. And your lovely wife is sitting here. Congratulations.
Yes.
I think you just went down to fourth sexiest.
She used to live next door to us when we were over at the other. She used to be at all my children.
She's been
right?
all my children.
We recognize you too. So, well, that's nice, lovely for you, and
Thank
congrats.
you. Yeah.
And someone told me that your co-star Sterling actually caught the garter.
Which was interesting because he's married.
Yeah.
And the
He
dude
wasn't supposed to be in that.
But you know what? You know what he is? He's lovely. He can be very competitive. Yeah. It's one of the things I love about him. And he got up. He got up and he was like, I knew when he got up and he walked onto the dance floor, I was like, he's gonna catch it. Goes over my shoulder, he catches the thing, and then he goes back and he sits down next to his wife, and his TV wife was also there. So I'm like, this guy is like, and they were proud of him. They were like, good for you. It's wonderful. Yeah, he had a great time.
They're like, that's what we picked. Like,
That's right.
We picked you because you're really good at this.
That's
So,
right.
Justin, I had never seen the show. I
Okay.
saw the last week's episode last night.
Okay.
First of all, it had me bawling. Your character, Kevin, is in a
In a
downward
bad way.
spiral. He
Yeah.
is addicted to opioids, which
Yeah.
I think was such an important topic for you to touch because it is such an epidemic in America today.
True.
And you just go down, you hit a rock, you lose your dad's necklace after a one-night stand gone wrong. So let's take a look at the clip. And
Sure.
yeah.
Bring the room down.
It was powerful. So first of all, let me tell you something. Maybe
Just watching the clip.
there is no way I would have said no to you. I would have given you that necklace and anything else you
figure out
wanted.
how
But
to get it to him.
let me ask you,
Easy, Anna.
has Kevin hit rock bottom?
Look, I mean,
please tell me yes, because I can't do it anymore.
So here's the thing about that kind of sort of mental illness and that kind of addiction is you don't get through that on your own.
Yeah.
And so he, at the end of the episode, goes to his brother and he says, you know, he's going to tell him, he's going to say, I need help. And there's a bigger problem that sort of happens, and so he kind of has to bite his tongue. And unfortunately for Kevin, like the character that I play, in his DNA, it's not to like sort of reach out and ask for help. He sort of tackles things on his own, or he keeps them locked up inside, which is not healthy. And so I don't think we've seen rock bottom yet, because like I said, you can't really go through those things on your own.
Rock bottom's very far down.
Yeah.
Very far down.
Have you heard from people, social media feedback from people who are addicts, from people who are going through some of the same thing? Because this is happening in America.
Yeah, I have. And one of my good friends is Ryan Leaf, actually, and he went through a similar. His story is different, but he went through a similar addiction, and he has come out on the other side, and he is now he speaks to schools and he travels the country. He's an amazing human being. And I spoke to him, and people have reached out to me, and hopefully in doing a storyline like this, one of the things that you hope for is that if there's one person that can reach out and get help, then we've done our job. This show is just it reaches so many people on such a personal level, and it's so much more. Yeah, it is, and it touches people. I get people walking up to me all the time telling me like intimate, personal stories, strangers.
You can't watch it without crying.
Yeah, it really does. You relate to all the characters, you know, and I think that's what, I mean, it all starts in the writer's room. Dan Fogelman.
The writing is really good.
It's off the. I always say this. I say, like, to make a sports reference, I always say our writers, it's kind of like when you're on a team and your pitcher is throwing a no-hitter. Yeah. You don't look at them, you don't talk to them, you act like they're not there, you just sort of let them, you know, sort of be in their own air, and that's what they're doing right now. They're incredible.
Incredible.
Now, I wanted to ask you about your workout videos on Instagram, staying in the same very deep topic.
Sure.
Because they're pretty impressive. You do some of these like mat jumps, you do planks with a lot of weight. What's your highest on doing that?
The weight?
Yeah.
That's like all core though.
Safe, by the way.
It's safe if you know what you're doing. That's a core thing, not a back thing.
Cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, but what about when they put one too many on and you're like, that was too much? Do you literally just fall?
Then you roll before that happens. Okay. You would like roll that off, before that happens.
So how much is the most you had on your back?
I don't even know. Was that like 165 or something? I don't really know.
That's like a teenager.
Like exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Why?
Yeah. Why am I doing that? Did you not hear he's one of people's sexiest men?
No. Because I'm an idiot. I don't know why I do that. I don't know.
Does your 13-year-old daughter, Isabella, think that that's a sexy thing to do?
She doesn't think anything. I think she thinks I'm cool.
She thinks you're pretty cool, right?
She's the highlight, man, of my life. This girl is 13, and everyone asks me, they're always like, 13-year-old girl, how's that?
Yeah.
They give me that thing, right? And I'm like, look, I got to tell you, it's awesome. She is.
Wow.
She's honest. We talk to each other on like this level, and she's kind and she's sweet. She's forgiving.
Wow.
She's generous. She's smart. She's perfect. She's
called well-raised.
Thank you. Hopefully, I blame the parents.
You know, that's
right?
You know, if you're lucky enough to have kids that communicate with you, it's because you've told them it's okay.
Then it's okay to do that. Exactly.
And that's important.
Well done, Dad.
Yeah, thank you.
Our thanks to Justin Hartley. This Is Us airs tonight. Check your local listings. We'll be right back.
So who's getting a major windfall of $5 grand for the holidays? Whoopi's picking the winner of the Views Holiday Cash Sweepstakes next. So do not move. Country stars, and then there's Garth Brooks, and he's on The View tomorrow.
It's time to blow up someone's holiday budget on The View's Holiday Cash Sweepstakes. Now, Whoopi is in the win booth, one of her favorite places, ready to pick which one of you is about to win $5,000. But first, we want to tell you about our sponsor, Retail Me Not. Yay! In our audience is Retail Me Not Shop fashion and trends expert, Sarah Skirball. Sarah, tell us how we can save this holiday season.
Absolutely. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are only a few short days away. And before you begin any of your holiday shopping, I want to remind you to go to retailmenot.com or download the free Retail Me Not app where you can save up to 70% off on all your holiday gifts.
Oh.
Plus, even more great news. If you're tired of searching for coupons online, Retail Me Not now has a free browser extension called Genie, which automatically applies coupon codes and cashback savings immediately at checkout. So before you begin any shopping, make sure to use Retail Me Not to save yourself time, money, hassle, everything.
That's what So let's now give away, thank you, Sarah, some cash. First, we want to congratulate our online winner, Christy from Oak Forest, Illinois.
Oh.
You just won $5,000.
Pretty good.
And now it is time for someone in our studio audience to win $5,000. The win booth is full of audience seat numbers, and Whoopi has 10 seconds to pick a winner. Are you ready, Whoopi?
Oh, yeah.
Whoopi, you have got a lot of numbers.
You got a lot of numbers.
She got to drop numbers.
Here's one.
Oh, we're down to one. Okay.
Green one. Number 124.
124.
Debbie from San Francisco.
Congratulations. It looks like lunch is on her. What are you going to do with lunch?
Go on a trip somewhere.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's you, Oops.
It's me. Oh, hey. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.